Love Them Knives channel. Got this knife. TwoSun knives. They're fascinating, aren't they? I think they're still a good value knife. Great designs out there. All kinds of everything. Small, large, you know. G10, titanium, M390, S90V, 12C27, as this one is Sandvik, and D2. So many different styles, models. This one is called the Bamboo. It's the TS165. It's a Wong design. Oh yes, Wong Den Xin, and I'll give you the link to his Instagram and you can look him up. And I will also leave the list of the other TwoSun knife collaborative designers in the description section. The two different sellers that I buy TwoSun knives from on eBay, the DWin99 and TwoSun Knives. So those are the two sellers. We're talking about the 165 Bamboo. Because I asked him, I said, I got the 165. Is there a specific name? And he goes, Bamboo. So yes, it's the Bamboo. Check it out. It's a good sized knife. Put a tape on it, and that'll tell you for sure. It's 3 3/4 inches all day long. It's 3 3/4 inch cutting edge. You could call it 4 to the back of the choil, whatever. 97 millimeters at least, 8.5, maybe closer to 8.55 inches, and not quite 22 centimeters long. Looks pretty thick in there. It looks like it's been weight relieved on the inside. Let's grab the calipers, throw it on here. Ooh, it's pretty fat. 15.2, 6/10 of an inch. We've got 3.8 millimeters at, come on, at 0.148, 0.149. Trying to get up on those flats there. So, yes, I'm zeroed out. Okay. So 3.8 millimeter, so fairly thick blade stock. Blade looks pretty nice. Nice satin grind. You've got the 12C27 steel indicated on the blade. Wong design as well. And on the flip side, TwoSun. So you have some degree of billboarding, and you know, this is just the way it's gone. I don't know, I keep hearing that they're going to start making this smaller, putting it somewhere else, but on this particular one, no, they left it alone. Obviously, you got a hardened steel insert on the titanium lock bar with an over travel stop. The actual screws look like they're machined, so they're nice there. You got a titanium pocket clip. And yes, no magnetism there. No magnetism there. How about the screw there? Okay, good. That's actually steel. Yes, magnetism, but nothing in here. So obviously steel hardware, titanium everywhere else, and Sandvik steel, which, you know, Outpost 76, his YouTube channel, he did a cut test with the 12C27 from the, I think the TS124, and wow, it performed crazy good. So I don't have an HRC or a Rockwell number on this. I might send it in for one later. But a really cool looking knife. I'm not going to send every TwoSun knife in for an HRC test. I've sent a bunch of them in. M390, 12C27, S90V, all that kind of thing. And they've all tested really well as far as hardness in the appropriate range. Yeah, not very complicated, huh? You've got the screw for the pivot, and the pocket clip that holds it together, and it looks like that's about it. So we'll take this apart here in a little bit. As far as the comfort, the ergos in hand, this one works really good for me. First of all, it's nice and thick, so I can feel like I got something in my hand. Second of all, my fingers fit these grooves exactly. The problem when you start kicking these spots along here is when people's hand size varies, a little smaller hand, and they're going to start hitting right in here or other places. So you've really kind of put yourself in a box as far as ergos go. They work great for me though, by the way. And here you've got this grind here, which probably conforms with the whole bamboo motif, but other than this, probably is fairly meaningless. Don't really need this or this. You have a front choil here for sharpening, and these are usually pretty sharp. Yeah, that one's really sharp. Okay, usually they're pretty sharp from TwoSun, so, but I'm always checking. Yeah, it's very sharp. Really done a good job. And you get the little box, right? And it never tells you anything on it, so I always write the stuff on here, and it just comes in a double plastic, and it's dripping with oil. It really is wet with oil, so you squeeze, slide it out of the package. I mean, comes out, and you wipe it down. And I haven't disassembled this or anything, so it'll be interesting to do that. Yeah, I like the pocket clip. Looks substantial. It's definitely not moving around. You've got this little area that's kind of a fuller type thing that's milled on the scales. And, you know, how that pocket clip is going to manage in your pocket, probably okay, but it's set into there, so that may cause some more interference with these little holes, and that pocket clip being like that, maybe ratchet out of your pocket. I don't know. I can't recall that it was a problem. I carried it on 2 different occasions and didn't really make note that there was any particular difficulty. So you've got a lot of machining around here. Nice. There's your lockup. 25%. It's easy to disengage. Yeah, about 25%. Looks pretty squared up there. Pretty intuitive as far as, and you got a jimping on the flipper tab. And there's your stop for the blade. The detent is okay. You can do that, but it's holding pretty well. Okay, so it's not easy. I would give it better than a 5 on my detent scale. So if I'm trying to fail it, that's not happening. And that's not happening either. So, no. Oh, hold on. Let me throw my scale out here, because that's the one thing we haven't covered yet. Ounces. 4.5. Okay. For an 8.6 inch, you know, almost arguably 3.8 something inch blade, 8.55, 8.6 overall. No, that's not bad. 127, 128 grams. No, not too shabby. So it doesn't feel overly heavy, but it doesn't feel extra light. And before I throw the towel down and start disassembling, you know, just kind of refresh you on some other Wong type designs that I really like. The 124, of course, is really great. And of course, the 81 is a big favorite of mine with the bone inserts. Seen a guy put wood inserts in there. Really beautiful knife, though. Not counting the TS107 is not in here either, or the TS121. And here's the one he did, and this is the 123 in copper, and it's a slip joint, and M390, beautiful knife there. Of course, the 89, beautiful. And this, of course, also in M390, this little, I think this is the 68. Yes, the TS68 and M390. And the 127, which is a liner lock, and it's a titanium liner, a thick titanium liner with a hardened steel insert in it. And you got carbon fiber G10. And this is at 12C27. This is 12C27. This is D2. This is M390. This is M390. And this is D2. So kind of mixed it up in that regard with all those knives. Looks like we've got number 8s everywhere on here, so we're going to find out real quick. No access here. Easy out there. So nothing holding back on that. Not too difficult in that regard on this one. And there it goes, pops out. This should be about all it takes. And it is. It's popping right off of there. Okay, come on. And yeah, sometimes these back spacers, they get a little tough to get free of. And that looks clean and nice. Hardened steel insert over travel stop. Ceramic detent ball. There's your steel washer in there. And of course your blade stop is over on this side. Here's your pivot, which is round. But for some reason, it didn't spin, and that screw was not that tight in there. So I'm not seeing any Loctite or any kind of thread locker in there. And yes, ceramic bearings. They fell right out here. So we got that. So everything's in tune. Of course, we got this little, there you go, locator pin right there. So you can see how much weight relieving was done. A lot. How about on the lock bar side? Still a bunch. Way back in here and across here and even on the lock bar. So they're really, I mean, you know, for no more than you pay for something like this, I think 65, 68 bucks is probably about what they're going for. Maybe 70 at max. Unless you hit these models when they first come out, and then there's people who just have to have them, and so they'll pay a premium. But if you lay back for a week or so, yeah, it's just amazing. The kind of machining and the attention to detail, ceramic bearings, the insert, the ceramic detent, all the weight relieving and machining that's done there, etc. I mean, there's nothing here that they're missing that you would have done to a $350 knife. Other than you might have had a higher end steel, but I'm not knocking it because 12C27 is a stainless, it's Sandvik, and actually it cut really, really well. I would almost prefer it to the D2, plus it's a stainless, so it's not going to corrode as well. Got higher chromium content. And, well, I'm not going to get into the other. It'd be interesting if they would do more, if they would start doing some in either S30 or S35. That would be interesting. You know, and they're doing them in M390 here and there depending on the model. So cool. I mean, it really looks clean. And I don't know if you want me to, I mean, I could see, push out this. Okay. So I pushed out the washer just so you can see, yes, it is a washer. It's in here, okay? There it is. But, you know, I mean, a lot of times I don't kick them out because I just clean them off and go back. Especially just a situation like this. I'm just pulling it apart, showing pieces. And let's get these more camera friendly here. Throw this thing back together. Obviously the presentation side. Whoa, 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 whoa. Has the pin. It's going through here. Here we go. And put a little bit of lube there. And we need the bearings. And maybe just a bit there. Tiny bit. The blade, face back to the spine. This. And bearings. I think we already did this, and we're doing this, so we got more than enough. Put it back on. And where are we on this journey? We're going to get this pushed together, and now we have it pushed together. And we need to make sure our little pin there is in there. We can put the pivot screw back on. This is really easy. Easy apart, easy together, isn't it? This is crazy easy. Pocket clip. Kaboom. This. Back. I mean, you got two screws. The pivot and the clip. And I think it was maybe Mr. Kluver, one of our viewers, that says, I love it when the pocket clip screw does double duty as holding it together through the backspacer as well. I mean, that's just nice. And so you've got a place to put your lanyard here, that little pin through there, but there's a cutaway in the backspacer for that. So it's not sticking up or out or in a different place. It's pretty stealth. Now, where are we? Well, looks like we're centered right up. Let's see if we got any blade play. No, we just put it right back. Perfect position. And maybe made it a little stiffer than we needed to. Depends on how you want it. You might have wanted a little bit more difficult to drop. And this is less difficult to drop. Like that. So you can adjust that. Still look at it. It's centered. Okay? So you can give it a little bit of play in there. My only concern here is this came out so easy that over a period of time it may back off more, and therefore, yeah, you might want to put a little bit of thread locker in there to keep that from happening. What are we doing? We're messing around here. Get it over the detent ball. It'll drop. If you don't get it over the detent ball, it won't drop. Easy done. Easy does it. Another Wong design. Take care, my friends. You know what we do. We love them knives. Stay sharp.